Hi everyone, today is May 9th and I just want to keep putting up videos just so I can do it. These are all short, I'm afraid, for various reasons, but at least I'm putting something up. Look, there are 3 links down below with Infowars having done the investigation into what it means to master the human domain, which is what Jade Helm's motto is. It has some very deep, significant meanings, as does everything that Jade Helm is about right now. Yes, I agree with Infowars that this is not the martial law takeover. Frankly, we're already under so much tyranny and authoritarianism. Martial law is just a semantic term as far as I'm concerned. But at any rate, they've done a really good job here. Some of these links, the programs are very long, but I wanted to put them up there so that you'll know that I'm aware of them and also that I'm referring to them because I think that David Knight and Rob Dew and Joe Biggs have done such an outstanding job on these. So please take a look at them if you haven't already. I also want to say this because it's very important. I heard Representative Gomert of Texas say, you know, this looks very odd. I was in the Army, and when we did use U.S. training areas, we had an overlay that called the areas something different, you know, like let's say the state of Utah would have been called Botsmoville or Botsmamar or whatever, you know, make up some name as the hostile territory, but this time they didn't do that. Very important that Representative Gomer realized that there was no map overlay calling these areas something else. And this is not an oversight. This is not just an accident. They do consider hostile territories in Jade Helm being the people of Utah, the people of Texas, and actually some other places. I'm going to bring up one thing here because I want you to understand this. And I'm going to be pointing at the Mormon Church here as a co-conspirator in some regards, and that's going to make some people very, very angry that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to point this out to you. Remember, I have told you several times that there are definitions of terrorism. It's not an act necessarily. The government has scores of definitions, and they can grab anybody under the definitions whenever they want, even if you've never done anything. One of the definitions is, for example, and I'm going to use an example here because I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but it's this simple. You own your own business, you have a gun, you have a food supply. You are, by government definition, a terrorist. And this is from the 80s, okay? All right. What is it in Utah that these people have more than anything else? Self-employment, weapons, it's known as a hunting state, for instance, and food supply like crazy. So, as a state, a lot of these people, individually and collectively, are considered terrorists, just by definition. Now let me tell you something else. Here a few years ago, the Mormon Church leadership asked all the members to give an accounting of the food supply in their homes. Some of the people in Utah will remember this, and this is the only time I'm going to say this. Okay, I'm not going to come up against the Mormon leadership again on this. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Think about it. They wanted to know how your food supply was and what the condition of it was, what you had, right? They turned that over to the federal government, to FEMA, just so you know. All right, check it out for yourself. You'll find it. So, in other words, with all of this data collection, so that they can, the government, but the military in particular, can pinpoint problem areas. Wow, well, they're getting all kinds of information about the people in Utah. You don't consider them as a hostile state in the federal government's eyes? Think about this. The NSA facility, the huge one in Bluffdale, Utah. Why did they put it there? These are all things to think about. Jade Helm is for domestic use, primarily. If it has secondary uses, that's fine, but it is for domestic use. Now, that's as long a video as I can afford to put up today. I want to just point some of those things out. Go look at these 3 videos from Infowars if you have not yet. As far as I'm concerned, this is not circumstantial evidence. This is a nail in the coffin. This shows probable cause in a criminal court that the federal government, the military-industrial security intelligence complex, is doing criminal behavior towards the American people, and they are planning on doing something, not just protecting you from ISIS. Remember, ISIS has been the Western Intelligence Service's tool to bring all this about. Oh, there are ISIS here, all right, no doubt. And they'll use those initially, possibly, but the end result is they've said all along, conservatives, gun owners, Christians, vets, you get the idea out here.